slow and steady. Even though their top lane is exposed, they don't really care because they know that the advantage is in their favor without having that refresher orb. And he's actually he's actually toggling it for the diffuser blade right now too. And that's what you were talking about. That 7th item slot that How can afford to have.
Why diffuser blade in particular for this rather late game spectrum? Normally,
oh Jesus, look at that, they're gonna try and blow up Eternal Envy, but it's not quite enough. The Glimmer Cape will help keep him alive through that Ancient Apparition Ice Blast. Hao's ultimate goes to work and does a little bit of extra damage. It will finish off No Tail, but the rest of the cores, they survive, and that's what's important.
I think it's just for the pure damage potential. He's going to just have a courier dedicated to himself. The Refresher Orb is on cooldown for another 50 seconds.
And Melee Rax is going to go down if Cloud9 don't defend. They seem so hesitant to move forward, though, against that burst damage, but it's not there right now.
Oh, they want the next Roshan. Scary thing, though, is that Hao can't be there for that fight for another 38 seconds. And if C9 are aware of that, they're going to see the Refresher Orb at top. He still doesn't have boots of travel. It's going to be way too hard for him to join the rest of his team.
Right.
This might actually be an opening right now for C9. I think they maybe go for some sort of attempt here.
They do have at least that one cliff ward up, so they should be able to see Cloud9 coming in to defend Roshan. Roshan's down to about half HP just solely because they're missing their big physical damage dealer. But Cloud9, they may not even know what's going on. Roshan's now down to 3k HP. They're going to start TPing back. They're giving up Roshan. It's going to be Agents and Chief going to Vici Gaming. So even as the buyback comes back up for Cloud9, the advantage is still there for Vici.
Yeah, the Clockwork is now going to pick up the Aegis. I think it's an okay decision considering he's just the least tanky of the group. And Super, he's got 5k gold, buyback, and boots of travel available for him. Fenrir is going to be the holder of the cheese, but it doesn't really matter. If whoever needs it on his team, he'll pass it over. Right. It just has the empty item slot, but Vici Gaming, they're a little bit tentative because they don't want to push into this. That top lane is always going to be in their thoughts.
5,200 gold sitting on Super right now. He's got an opportunity to change up his item build a little bit. Perhaps exchange some of these items. Does he get rid of the Ghost Scepter, or is there any benefit to completing the Ethereal Blade?
I think it's a better defensive item. You probably get rid of the Yule Scepter at this point, actually.
Right.
And get something like Octarine Core wouldn't be a bad idea. Refresh Orb is always good for Lina. If you want to build a little bit more DPS, even something like an Assault Cross isn't too bad at this phase of the game. Make your entire team a little bit more tanky. And it would help deal with the Shadow Fiend as well, but I mean, Vici Gaming, it doesn't really matter what they go for. All they have to do is play a patient, slow game. How can always rejoin them? His bot is boots of travel, and this is their game to lose.
Vision always being such a key factor in this late game. Both teams run around with gems, making sure that there is no information being leaked. Hao's sitting there, and he does have his refresher ready to go. So the courier that's following him is going to be able to give him a second haunt if necessary.
Something a little bit that's causing me a little bit of cause for concern is that there aren't a lot of boots of travels on the side of Vici. I guess the only one really missing it is Rubik and Super, but Super doesn't have a TP either. He doesn't have a TP scroll, he doesn't have boots of travel. I think this is a huge mistake because if C9 just decide to go for an all-out push, he's not going to have enough time to respond. You see him throwing down spells on the ground in anticipation of this, but they have to be a little bit more careful about this. You have 6k gold, you're not buying anything, you might as well at least get the travels.
Yeah, I'm really concerned that they're just letting creeps actually cut down that backdoor protection right now. Now, Hao actually pops his ultimate. Eternal Envy, he's been picked. He goes down. That is a huge pickoff. He's down for 90 seconds. And now they just found more. Misery's going to go down as well. Easily run down, picks up the gem. Two gigantic pickoffs, one of which does have a buyback. Misery, though, does not.
Yeah, that might actually just be their signal to go now. Get the boots of travel onto Super, then just decide to go for the push. You've got 6,700 gold on him. The entire team can buy back, travels in. And Vici Gaming effectively have 10 lives to work with here.
Insane amount of defense, so they push back that bottom lane. Top and middle are still in a good position, so there's not many opportunities for Cloud9 to go for the complete backdoor.
Yeah, and boots of speed have been dropped down on the ground. Okay, FY's just got casual boots and then bought another pair of boots and dropped them.
Alright, Fada's seems to be banking on the buyback TPN from Boots of Travel level 2.
There is actually a decent chance that C9 still would win this game though. If they can somehow go for the throne at some point, like they can just make a mad dash. This is still possible, but they're going to have to run into 10 lives from the side of Vici Gaming.
Melee racks, it seems like it's going to be given up here. Cloud9 are just too close to having those heroes revive. Misery's coming to back up, but they really need to be able to defend top. 20 seconds left for the Gyrocopter. Vici Gaming are trying to force this right here, right now. The tier 3 tower is going to go down to start things off. Another 13 seconds until Eternally Envy is back up. Fada starts challenging Hal a little bit. Let's lose that ultimate just to try and put the damage reduction out there. Oh, what FY! Of course FY would steal that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know why we're hyping that up at this point in the game. That must have been the third time he stole an SF ultimate. It's just getting ridiculous.
Okay. We talk about late game item builds. Blitz, give it to me. Desolator. Eternal Envy. Cheap damage perhaps. FY's going to jump in. Telekinesis on Misery. They're trying to
push him down.
So low. Force Staff has already brought him low. Glimmer Cape is out there. Missed hook shot. Fada actually trying to get away. Dropping BKB. That's over the top. He's going to go down. The Supernova is down, but Vici Gaming are going to be able to get back in time. Won't really worry about that one. The buyback is there. Now Bone 7 starts jumping for him. Vici Gaming, they're going for the end. They're trying to go straight for the throne, but the glyph is there. It's healing up the throne. Oh, this is amazing. They're all trying to take out the throne. They got to get back here. Vici Gaming trying to go for the defense as fast as possible. How? Starts beating up Eternal Envy. There goes that Aegis on. Eternal Envy now pops a BKB and Satanic. Oh, they're still going for it. Fada just playing games, running around the throne as best as possible. Ice.
On the back door protection.
He's going to go down. The back door protection is healing up the throne. Fada's left alone. Solo up against Vici Gaming. He will not have the damage. He tries, but it's not going to be there. They both fall, and Vici Gaming in that defense have just sufficiently taken the game.
There's no buybacks anymore for C9. I can't blame them for going for that play. That was probably their best shot, but it's just not going to be enough as Vici Gaming. They have so many lives to work with. That's almost 10k built up for Super. Like, he's just taunting them at this point. He's saying, I'm not 6-slotted, but it doesn't even matter. I don't even need travels. I'm so convinced that we've won this game, and how they're going to secure the Mega Creeps before they go for the throne. There's no reason for them to be impatient. 70 minutes in the game. You don't want to throw away this advantage. They're just going to go straight for Mega Creeps and then go for the throne with no buybacks on either of the cores. It's just too difficult. Vici already set up around the throne for this.
Mega Creeps are here, and still another 80 seconds on the clock till Fada comes back. Vici Gaming are just taking their time, slowly but surely.
Oh, they're going to go
relocate play. They're going for it desperately, but they've already called the GG. They know there's no help there. There's no help to be found. Cloud9 will lose game number 1, Vici Gaming. What a comeback.
That's the most emotion I've ever seen Hal use. Like, he's going insane right now, like he won TI again. But that was FY's game. Like, if there's an MVP,
no question.
You gotta give it to him every single time.
No question. Just a single game's performance. I'm ready to call him the MVP of this tournament, man. FY, unbelievable play. And what an insane game. A lot to talk about here in just game number 1 between Vici Gaming and Cloud9. So we're going to leave it to our analysts.
Look at that guy. He doesn't even look like he's concerned.
Wow. What a start. What a start to this match. This is only first game.
When Cloud9 plays Dota, we're never going to get bored.
I mean, there's a reason I said this is the most anticipated game of today, and what an amazing way to start it. Typical plus 60-minute game, and FY just got his back.
Summed up brilliantly on Twitter by @Skim Gaming, who said, "You'd think I'd be surprised, but for a C9 fan, this is just another Tuesday evening."
That sums it about up, I think.
It's a great way to sum it up. Right, let's go back to the match. No, I'm kidding.
Game, please. No.
Yeah, I'm just, we sat there and watched that together, and it ebbed and flowed, and it went backwards and forwards, and you thought, okay, C9 are going to take this, and then you were like, wow, actually, no, Vici have got this now, and then C9 come back again, and there's this gold swing going. It was a nuts game. I don't know how you summarise that. Malini, have a go.
It was pretty crazy. The moment Vici started coming back was when they got 2 scepters, and that rendered like all of Wisp heals useless, like the Helmet Dominator useless. I don't even know why he got a Satanic, and of course FY, he stole that egg, and then after that I think they like 4-1'd Cloud9, and then after that things just started getting really hectic, and Cloud9 is like, oh crap, we better end this fast, and Vici's like, oh, we can actually win the game now and come outside of our base.
I mean, the fights were just going out of control. The Rubik was solo killing Phoenix. He was doing everything in these fights for Vici Gaming. Spectre had her Radiance, but in the first few fights where she had Radiance, Rubik was the one who actually carried them. and it was just insane to see. I think there was some weird itemizations going on in this game as well. Matt, you caught up on some of that, but
I was really surprised by the casual soul booster from Bone 7. I thought it was an Octarine, and then it ended up being just that. And I thought it was a bit weird.
He sold it.
And he sold it. Like I was a bit confused. You know, it was maybe a bit too next level for me, but I didn't really understand what happened. But no, you know, we've been talking about the anti-mage, and we're like, you can't afford to lose the fight. But I mean, if there's a hero that's even worse, it's Spectre Radiant. You don't want to lose the fight with Spectre Radiant. You know, it's always the same games. You know, it goes up. He gets Radiance, you fail, it goes down, and you lose.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what happened.
We haven't even mentioned this, but that was a 19.8 thousand gold advantage or something towards C9, so pretty much 20,000, and they did end up losing to Spectre, one of the most painful.
C9, that's a bit of a throw, right? Even for C9.
Even then.
They did so well shutting down How in the early game. So much fighting going on. I really thought Cloud9 had it, and then that one fight with, indeed, as you said, FY stealing the Nova, it blew my mind.
Yeah,
blew everybody's
actually,
mind from the sound of it.
We've got a clip actually of FY things, just FY things.
Which one?
Yeah, exactly. Which ones? From around about 50 minutes into the game. So early game, as we were saying earlier, in Cloud9 matches. This is the early game.
Oh yeah, it's this fight.
They really coordinate well on the gyrocopter and watch him just like blow up from like 90% to 0.
Look at his positioning. For support players, he stays back. He just waits for the right time and he gets the right spells. No, he steals the field grid, which is also a very big deal. He's going to use it, but it's not going to do. He's going to have to cancel it right away. And he's just positioning himself and checking what he can get. What are the best spells to get? And he's instantly going to see the Requiem. And he sees that Bone 7 is trying TPing out, lift into Requiem.
The beautiful part, he's used Spell Deal to break the Lincolns, then stole Requiem, then went back and used Lift, which would have been blocked if he didn't do that. So, such a heads-up play.
And, you know, we're watching it like we're using 5 brains.